Ravens fan, have you ever stopped to think about what Lamar Jackson could do in a playoff game? Imagine him, with all his skill, leadership, and explosiveness, in a do-or-die match. Now, picture an entire team trying to stop him. It won't be easy. After all, nobody wants to see Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. And you're about to find out why. Today, we're diving into what makes Lamar so feared at this time of the season, why he becomes practically unstoppable, and how he can make all the difference when it matters most. Trust me, the answer could change everything you know about the Ravens' chances at the Super Bowl. Stick with me until the end, because you won't want to miss this analysis. Go Ravens! Have you ever seen a player do something that nobody else could? That's exactly what Lamar Jackson did against the New York Giants. He played like he was on another level, completing 80% of his passes, throwing for 250 yards, and scoring 5 touchdowns. And if that wasn't enough, he also ran for 50 yards, not making a single mistake. It's the kind of performance that leaves you speechless, not believing what you're seeing. It's not an exaggeration to say it was one of those moments that will be remembered for a long time in the NFL. What's most impressive is how he made everything look easy. Lamar controlled the game from start to finish, leading the team in 5 consecutive drives that ended in touchdowns. He looked so comfortable. It was like he was playing in his backyard. Every pass had precision, every decision seemed calculated, and every play felt like he was in total control. That's why it's so special to watch a player like him. You never know what's going to happen, but you always know it will be amazing. This game wasn't just a win. It was a message to anyone who still doubts him. Lamar is not just good, he's unique. And what's even more interesting is how he used his arm to lead the way, demolishing that outdated idea that he's only a runner. Now, let's take a look at how Lamar proved that his passing ability is elite. Lamar Jackson has always been known as one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, but for some reason, many still insist on labeling him as just a runner. Against the Giants, he proved exactly the opposite. Not only did he throw 5 touchdowns, but every pass seemed perfect. He had a long throw to Rashad Bateman that was a showcase of accuracy, and a screen pass to Justice Hill that was so well-timed, it felt like choreography. He even helped Mark Andrews break the Ravens' touchdown record. And all of this with only 4 incomplete passes throughout the entire game. What's most impressive is how he spread the ball around. It didn't matter if it was a veteran like Andrews or a rookie like Devontae Walker, who scored his first NFL touchdown. Lamar made everyone shine. He showed that he doesn't need to run all the time to dominate the game. The 65 yards he ran were just a bonus because the win came from his arm. And how about that perfect 154.6 rating? It was a masterclass in how to play quarterback in the NFL. With this performance, Lamar made it clear that he doesn't fit into labels or comparisons. He's redefining what it means to be a modern quarterback. And after a game like this, how can we not put him back in the MVP conversation? Speaking of which, let's talk about how this performance reignited the race for the most valuable player award. If anyone still had doubts about Lamar Jackson's impact this season, that game against the Giants should have erased them all. He now has 34 touchdowns thrown on the year and only 3 interceptions. Numbers any fan would love to see from their quarterback. This historic performance from Sunday not only solidified his MVP candidacy, but practically shouted to the voters, "Look at me, because no one is doing what I'm doing." And it's not just about the numbers. It's about what he represents on the field. Lamar leads the team with a style that blends technique and unpredictability. When he plays like this, it doesn't matter who's on the other side because he turns any defense into a mere spectator. This ability to change the course of a game, to create something incredible on every play, is exactly what makes him the most valuable player. He's the engine that makes the Ravens' offense run, and without him, the team wouldn't be the same. But Lamar knows the work isn't done yet. The victory over the Giants was big, but the goal is much bigger. The next challenge against the Steelers will be crucial to keep the team at the top of the AFC and stay firmly on track for the playoffs. Now, let's take a look at how this puts the Ravens in position to dominate the final stretch of the season. Well, we're past the halfway mark of our video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, and by liking the video, you're helping me keep bringing you more content like this. So, go ahead and hit that like button. It's free, and it helps a lot. Thanks. Now, let's keep going. Beating the New York Giants so dominantly was more than just a win on the scoreboard. It was a huge boost for the rest of the season. The Ravens were coming off a bye week and needed to show they were ready for the final stretch of the season. And with Lamar Jackson leading the offense like this, it's clear the team is on the right path. Plus, The game showed an offense that's in perfect harmony, with several players contributing and the team as a whole playing at a very high level. This type of victory also sends a strong message to the rest of the league. Baltimore isn't just competitive, they're terrifying when they're at their best. The offense looked unstoppable, and the defense did its job by limiting the Giants' attack to only 14 points. This is exactly the kind of balance a team needs to dream. With players like Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman shining, it's evident that this roster is more than ready for the bigger challenges ahead. But the next step is crucial. The win against the Giants gave the team momentum, but the game against the Steelers will be an even bigger test. They're divisional rivals, which always adds extra emotion, and a win could solidify the Ravens as one of the top teams in the AFC. Speaking of which, let's analyze how the momentum the Ravens have right now could be key in the quest for a successful playoff campaign. With the win over the Giants, the Ravens showed they're more than ready to face the pressure of the final stretch of the season. In an AFC full of strong competitors, every win counts, and this game was a reminder that Baltimore isn't just competing. They're dominating. Lamar Jackson is at his peak, and the entire team seems to be growing at just the right time. It's this type of consistency that could take the team far in the playoffs. What's impressive is how balanced the Ravens are. The offense, led by Lamar, is flowing like a finely tuned machine, while the defense continues to deliver solid performances. Against top-level opponents, this combination could be the difference between just making the playoffs and having a truly memorable camp. Plus, players like Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, and Justice Hill have stepped up at the right moments, reinforcing the depth of the roster and showing that Baltimore has weapons to take on any. Now, every game becomes even more important. The Ravens are in a good position, but they know the job is far from done. The next challenge against the Steelers will be another decisive battle, not just because of the rivalry, but also because of the AFC stand. Let's talk now about how this classic game against the Steelers could be the ultimate test to solidify Baltimore as one of the top favorites in the conference. Facing the Steelers is never just another game on the Ravens' calendar. This rivalry is one of the most intense in the NFL, and every matchup brings a playoff atmosphere, no matter what stage of the season it is. With both teams fighting for key positions in the AFC, the next showdown is more than just a test. It's an opportunity to show who rules the division. For the Ravens, winning this classic would be a huge step in solidifying their playoff push. The Steelers have a fierce defense and a team that always plays at its limit against Baltimore. But with Lamar Jackson leading like this, the Ravens have everything they need to come out with a victory. The offense needs to continue the rhythm shown against the Giants, mixing precise passes, explosive runs, and smart ball distribution. In addition, the Ravens' defense will have to deal with Pittsburgh's physical and strategic offense, ensuring that no key plays slip through their control. If the Ravens win, they will not only strengthen their position in the division, but also send a strong message to the entire AFC. Baltimore is ready to go far. This classic could be the spark needed to solidify the team as one of the top Super Bowl contenders this season. With that, we can only wait to see Lamar and the team's performance in another game full of history and emotion. So, it's clear that Lamar Jackson is simply a nightmare for any defense in the playoffs. With his unique ability to dominate both through the air and on the ground, he becomes a threat that no one wants to face. What we've seen so far is just the beginning of something much bigger, and the playoffs will be no different. He's ready to take the Ravens even further. Now, tell me, do you think Lamar Jackson has everything he needs to take the Ravens to the Super Bowl this season? Leave your opinion in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow all the updates on the Ravens' journey. See you next time.